Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Soulful Cup. My name is Star, and I am here to guide you in a tarot healing meditation, which means that we're going to go through the cards, and as we move along, there may be some triggering things that come up, and we're going to breathe through it. We are going to raise our frequency so that by the end of the reading, we'll be magnetizing exactly what we need in the situation. In today's reading, the need that we're addressing is the need for equality. And today, there's a very, very clear situation written in this cards, in this spread. Somebody who's having a lot of conflict at home or at work. But the point is that there's a lot of conflict. And the reason I said at home is that I see a lot of heartbreak here. Well, some heartbreak, but mostly arguments. Okay? Somebody's about to walk away, or somebody just walked away from the situation. It might be a male that has walked away. There's a big indication of that here. Take a deep breath. Okay, so in the mind, what I see is this very, very strong focus on self-fulfillment and self-love right now, which is good, especially in a situation like this. So if you're having to stand up for yourself or argue, you're doing it from a very genuine place, from the right place. It is okay to have conflict sometimes. It just needs to come from the right place. So the right place is a place of truth. The right place is very much connected to our experience, meaning when we're vulnerable in being able to say how we feel regarding a certain situation and what needs we have. In this case, it's very, very clear. It's clarified to us that equality is one of the core needs in this situation. There can be other needs in the that the situation is triggering, but the core one is usually the one that bothers us the most. Take a deep breath. Try to drop into your body. Feel your chest. If there's any achiness or tightness, using your discernment, of course, if you have a medical condition or not. That's not something I can determine for you. Feel your chest. Sometimes it's good to make noise as it helps us release the energy. It also allows us to keep the throat chakra open. What I see very, very clearly is that there were too many hands in the pot. And maybe the routine that you have or the responsibilities that you have felt like that's what was keeping you kind of together. I see a lot of anger, an explosion of anger here. Breathe. Somebody might be pregnant in the middle of the situation. Also, alternatively, yes, and or because you're being honest and truthful and kind of standing your ground in your truth, there's something regarding work here that's coming up. I'm sorry, one second. Maybe somebody was spending a lot of time at work at the, also. Maybe not spending enough time at home. But because we are trying to have this argument in a better way. I see your possibility for creativity somehow, and that's kind of strange coming from a situation such as this, but as I said, it's very connected with being honest and being being vulnerable and standing your ground in your truth. Okay, on the heart line, somebody really needing to take a break from work. Maybe you're escaping the situation or the feelings that the situation brings up through work. So in this moment, I need us to kind of drop in a little bit deeper. Take a deep breath, feel your chest. On the next one, I want you to feel your ribs and your chest. I think we can go a little deeper, of course, seeing if you don't have a condition that gets affected by this. Shake it off. So it's very interesting because mentally I saw creativity as a possibility, but in the heart space, there's not a lot of creativity going on. That's very interesting. Okay, we'll see how that connects. Yeah, like I said, moving, using anger to move, and it might be, like I said before, somebody who's working really, really hard just to kind of keep busy. Well, they're trying to use all of their anger that way, in order to be able to have this truthful argument. To be able to kind of be vulnerable in the moment of arguing. Shake it off. Okay. So there's a first attempt at, interesting that I said first, okay. There's a first attempt at going inside and connecting with yourself. Well, because the mind is so altered, that's why it's over here creating and looking, and maybe looking for creating possible ways out or possible solutions. We need to go in deeper with the heart stuff, because the mind needs to quiet down for us to actually come with creativity that comes from a higher power, very well connected, everything in alignment. And you may come up with the same thing if you do it through the mind, but it doesn't have the right energy. So out, 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 out. Shake it off. Fill up your ribs to capacity. Somebody is having issues in bed, heartbroken. That's what it'll do. But it's the thing is that is still kind of suppressed, and all that they're seeing, on the surface is anger, right? But deeper there is heartbreak, right? And all the energy is going into conflict and heartbreak. And I'm talking about external conflict, not internal conflict. External conflict and heartache. And because you're not conscious of the heartache, all the energies is being drained that way, instead of it like letting it out and that's it. It's you're keeping it there, and it's a constant drainage. Breathe. I'm going to take some time and allow you to fall in a little bit deeper into this, because this anger stuff is it's a real challenge sometimes to get it out of the body. So shake it off, get up, walk around, make noise. As long as you don't hurt yourself or others, this is the best way to let your anger out. Much better. Continue to take deep breaths and fill your lungs. Okay, starting to see the energy kind of come back to zero. And when I mean to zero, it's like neutral. Neutralizing the leak. The leak. Okay. Excuse me. There might be now an internal conflict going on in the mind. Maybe regarding where you put your energy into. Breathe. Feeling like you've wasted a lot of energy in emotional stuff, wanting to close off your heart. Not necessarily the best way. There's always the middle path. And what is that middle path in this case? Well, purging your emotions and being able to continue to keep the doors of your heart open, moving forward. Even if you walk away or don't walk away in this situation, but we're doing it with an open heart. Just being able to experience what's going on as it's going on. Fill your stomach up with oxygen. So, still. purging. And feeling that maybe at work you always get exactly what you put in, that equality, that reciprocity, you get it at work. Okay, so looking for a word or a phrase that will put consciousness into context for me. These last three cards right here. Conflict, waste, reward. Conflict between heart, emotional stuff, and work. And the ideas that, the wrong ideas that investing time and energy at work and even money is much more rewarding than investing time and energy in relationships and money, of course. That's still not balanced, obviously. Person without a relationship may get lonely. It's not necessarily what most people are looking for. And this is a normal animalistic want and need that we have. And sometimes things are even more rewarding at work when you take care of yourself. So, has work being rewarding enough, or has it been as rewarding as you want it to be? Because if it's not as rewarding as you want it to be, this balancing out of the faculties is going to be able to help you magnetize that by balancing yourself out, being able to continue to stay open emotionally, breathe. This thing is just backwards. Thank you. Much better. Backwards. Ideas are backwards. Swords represent ideas, thoughts, beliefs, and words. Words in our head. Maybe advice, books, videos, just information that you have in there that may be not integrated and therefore perverted in nature. When you integrate what you hear, what you learn, and when I say integrate, what do you have to do? You have to actually use it, actually practice it. So if you are listening to some Anthony Robbins video, reading a book, if you heard something that you liked, some advice, the way for that advice to actually be impactful in your life is not saying it forward. You cannot say something forward that you haven't experienced yourself and that you have a connection to, because then a perverted message comes through. Energy needs to be behind it for it to be true. So, in this case, this is an opportunity to practice things that you have heard about relationships. Maybe that felt kind of good when you heard it. And this is a time to connect with what that feels like to you, trying it out and seeing how it feels like to you. okay, doing things this way is not working. That is the truth, because it doesn't feel good. Let me try this way. Experiment. As a result, where we're at right now in this healing session, there's soothing in the anger and soothing in the mind as you focus on your heart. These cool down, they mellow out. So I have a message for you. You need to be able to say out loud the things that, the inconvenient truths, say them to yourself, by yourself, or write them down if you feel too ridiculous saying things out loud. Maybe record yourself on the phone and let it all out. Look at yourself in the mirror, let it all out. If you need to get a drink or something, just do what you need to do to heal. After you're healed, then your actions, your behavior will be more in alignment with you. I see somebody stepping down from a position. Literally. I also see somebody peacefully navigating this situation. Look at that smile. Peacefully finding your next footing. One foot in front of the other. Breathe that in. And that is when the universe starts giving you back that energy. The universe starts reciprocating equally as the consciousness that you're bringing forth, the vibration that you're bringing forth. This was a pretty straight up healing session. We're going to take some more time to purge anger out. Give me a focus. Give me a focus, please. You don't want to do the focus yet? Okay, we'll wait for that. Do we do the anger thing with this? Okay. Okay, so I see the mind now. Remember how I said, I don't know, did I say that? Creating something in the mind. Yes, I did. Creating something in the mind and creating something here is different. Something that starts here and goes out does not have this energy. Something that starts here and then expresses itself. It goes into the mind from here, not from the external. It's not a mental reaction to an external thing. It's a mental reaction to an internal energy, spark. So I see here a card describing this type of creativity and alignment. Breathe. You just need to surrender this anger with me right now in order to be able to do this. So do what you have to do. You know how to get that crap out. You know it. If you have to move, if you have to draw, scribble, if you have to punch the air, just make sure you don't hurt anybody or yourself. Punch a pillow, scream into a pillow if you can. Go outside, throw a rock into the field. I don't know, whatever you have around you, you know better. I don't need to tell you how to do this. You know how to let your own anger out. Breathe. I see maybe a whole lot of arguments or feelings popping in your heart. Popping in your heart. That's exactly the words. Maybe that's the sensation. I see. The very thought of having a quiet mind can sometimes trigger the mind. And that can cause the emotions to go right back into that little box. The inner child. Just look at the inner child looking out like, let me out, let me out. Okay. Yeah, I see the vitality reawakened. Breaker of chains. I am an emperor. I am an emperor. This is the card that's coming out here. Breathe that in. Put the outfit of the emperor. If he has a crown, put the crown on. Breaker of chains. Breathe. Like feeling like you're on top of the world, like you can handle anything that comes your way because your heart is peaceful again. Just feeling very well connected to your energy source. Continue to breathe. No, that's too many. Continue to breathe. What's the meditation? The Emperor. High Priestess. Okay. This is going to be your focus. Whenever you get angry, remember that there's a higher discernment that you can tap into. If you reset yourself by opening your heart and letting emotions through. Breathe. This is your focus. This is what's going to make you feel equality. This is your focus. When you sit in this throne, you are a wise, intuitive priestess with wisdom beyond the mental plane. Breathe. And when you are connected to yourself and to higher self that way, through higher self, Paramatma, the Holy Spirit, a little piece of God inside you. This is when you can breeze through life and get the equality that you need from the universe. When you get your needs met, the people around you don't seem to be in conflict with you. Breathe. But it's unfair. It's unfair that I give this much and the other person doesn't. And it's unfair that maybe I give this much and the other person wastes it somewhere else. They waste it in another person. They waste it at work, extra work. So either side of this equation that you're in, the equality need is a strong one. Shake it off. You see my voice even changed? This is the amount of anger I'm channeling right now. It's intense. Yeah, don't look at me. You need to breathe. Saint Michael in front, Saint Michael behind, Saint Michael to the left, Saint Michael to the right, Saint Michael above, Saint Michael below. Saint Michael, Saint Michael, Saint Michael, Saint Michael, wherever I go, I am your love protecting here. I am your love protecting here. I am your love protecting here. Saint Michael in front, Saint Michael behind, Saint Michael to the left, Saint Michael to the right. Saint Michael above, Saint Michael below, Saint Michael, wherever I go. I am your love protecting here. I am your love protecting here. I am your love protecting here. Saint Michael in front, Saint Michael behind, Saint Michael to the left, Saint Michael to the right, Saint Michael above, Saint Michael below. Saint Michael, wherever I go, I am your love protecting here. I am your love protecting here. I am your love protecting here. I treat myself the way I want to be treated. I work as much as I want to, giving people a chance to take over the responsibilities that I'm slacking on so that they can take care of those needs. Speaking up and putting the boundary of, come here and take care of this right now, because I can't. In that moment, when you're doing that, that is an act of love, because it's the truth. You're not pretending to be stronger than you are, or more energetic than you are, or pretending to be God, right? No, I'm a human being. I can only handle this much responsibility, this much energy is allotted to this thing, right? Because I also need to take care of my emotional life, my personal life, my relationship, my relationships. Breathe. Because it's like a plant. The more I water it, the more it grows. The more energy I put into it, the more it grows. The more time I spent in it, the more it grows. And that fulfillment, where is it? Where's the fulfillment for me here? Fulfillment can only be found. Here it is. Of course, it had to do with water. Watering the plant. That fulfillment can only be found through the heart. As much as you invest in it, that's as rewarding as it is. Feeding you in order to be able to produce fruit at work. These things are not separate from each other. Breathe. I give as much as I receive, and whoever does not fall into that frequency, I step back from. I take my space from. Doesn't mean that you guys need to go and break all your relationships. Space is space. Space is space. Be it taking a vacation by yourself or with your friends, going on a weekend trip by yourself or with your friends. And when I say friends, I mean somebody that you can actually talk to for real about shit, that won't go gossiping around, that won't judge you and won't give you advice. They'll just be there and be like, yep, I hear you, that's shitty, and I have felt those feelings before also. Of course, they don't have to talk exactly like that, right? Anyways, thank you for allowing me to be your guide in this meditation. Thank you for allowing yourself to take part in this meditation, because as you have done this, you have fed yourself. While in the past you were feeding outside things, in this moment you fed yourself. Therefore, you gave your inner child equality. You gave your inner child a reward, a balance, a blessing, an offering of love. So this is what I'm talking about. You give this to yourself, then things outside of you start being way more rewarding. Less effort, more reward. Just balance it out. Balance it out. And there's no more anger. There's no need to be angry when this is there. When you recognize the quality of equality, when you recognize that you have that, there's no lack. There's no need for anger. Anger came from the lack of something, right? The lack of equality. We brought it forth into this present moment, this vibration of equality. Okay, so let's get grounded. Look around you, see whatever shapes, colors, or textures you can recognize. And I never actually thought about maybe people that are visually impaired. If you can, then look around you. If you don't have that, use your other senses as sharply as you can to get grounded. And that goes for maybe somebody who has a speech impairment. Everybody's included. Breathe. Okay. As you are recognizing, grounding yourself, recognizing the world around you in whatever way you can, you are bringing forth the energy of equality. I spend this much money on this thing and it has served me so well, right? Equality. I bought this lamp or this frame. I bought this mattress, this TV, and it has given me pleasure. That way you are receiving, you spent on it. You spent energy, time, money on these things. Now you're actually receiving, like being aware of what you're looking at. You're looking at energy of self-love. What sounds do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What textures do you feel? All of it. All of it. Equality. Allow yourself to receive the blessings for what you have, the energy that you put out. And receiving it can be receiving it in this moment. Something that you really, really connect to, maybe something that you just bought, right? Or maybe something that somebody gave you. Oh, how beautiful the equality. Something that brings you good memories. Okay, we are all grounded. Our surroundings are full of blessings. Go forth and be prosperous, my children. And you hear me talking to you. Across the water, across the deep blue ocean, under the open sky. Baby, I'm done. Yeah, boy, I hear you. Yeah, my dreams. I hear you whisper. You're all I need. Do-dee-do-dee-do. Oh, here. Da-da-da-da-da. Solo quiero pegar en la radio para ganar mi primer millón. Para comprarme una casa grande, que no me quema el corazón. Ya quiero salir de esta bicicleta, salir a rumbear sin pensar en la cuenta. Comprarte un vestido de Oscar de la Renta. Tranquila, que viene mi primer millón. Soy la cantante por todos lados de esta canción. No. Uy. Ya quiero salir de esa bicicleta.